trust, I want to talk a little bit about asset protection and what that's all about. Because most people who ask me about land trusts or paper trusts or personal property trusts, they want to know not only about flexibility, but they want to know about creditor protection. And we're going to go into that and whether it works for true creditor protection or not. But why do we care about asset protection in the first place, right? We can all be pretty big fish and big targets out there, and we've got to be careful about that. Because lawsuits, face it, are not always filed because somebody's done something wrong, right? They're filed often because there's a greedy person who thinks you have a deep pocket. And so they are looking for people to sue. And I do a whole seminar on asset protection, so I'm not going to get into all of that. But there is a case that I mentioned where basically a 92-year-old woman gave her nephew a car to help him out, gave him a car. He ran a stop sign and killed somebody, and the aunt, great aunt I think, was sued for negligent entrustment of a car to someone she knew was young and could have run the stop sign. She got sued, and they won a judgment against her for like $900,000. It wiped her out. All she did was give her nephew a car, her great nephew a car. That's ridiculous. So lawsuits are not just because we've done something wrong. I've known many, many people who've been sued and have never done anything wrong. But if you get to that point, even where there is a lawsuit, you've probably got to pay $50,000 or more just to get to the point where the judge says you didn't do anything wrong. Right, Bill? It's crazy. It is crazy. So I want to tell you a couple of fundamentals about asset protection before we get into trust. You've got to plan for asset protection before there ever is a problem. Right? So if you run the stop sign and you're the person who hurt somebody, and then you come to me and say, quick, I want to throw all my stuff in a trust or an LLC, or I want to give it to my spouse, or I want to give it to my kids, too late. Too late. Because if we transfer those things now, it's what we call a fraudulent transfer. It is done with the intent to hinder, delay, or defraud creditors. So if you get into court and they can prove that you transferred something with an actual intent to hinder, delay, or defraud creditors, the judge is going to suck it right back out as if you never made that transfer. So you have to start thinking about these things now before there's any problem, just to make sure you take care of things before that there is a problem. And I know Dykes Bodiford, Dorsey's dad, says, be the cockroach, not the elephant, by the way. Don't go tell your business to everybody. Don't brag about how many millions you have outside this room. We all know what it is and we all get it. But don't just be at a cocktail party telling about the 5,000 houses you own and how you're so rich you can make $100,000 a month or whatever. Just be stealth. Be stealth. So I think of asset protection, by the way, as layers of an onion. So the first layer, let's take a rental property. The first layer is be a very good steward of your property, right? Put the ice melt on the steps so nobody slips and falls. Keep the electrical wiring up to date. Treat the property well so that you're not creating a hazard. The second layer of that onion, in my opinion, is have the best insurance you can afford. All right? Don't be cheap on your insurance. Make sure when you talk to your insurance person, you have the proper type of policy. I can't even read those things. I have my insurance agent read them and tell me whether it does what I want it to do. Here's what I'm trying to accomplish, dear insurance agent. Does this policy do that? Right? I am a vacation rental owner. My regular landlord's policy will not cover a slip and fall in my vacation rental. Okay? Anybody has short-term rentals, you better ask for a policy that specifically covers short-term rentals. Because somebody slips, they have a wedding in your backyard, and somebody slips, the insurance company can deny your claim. So have the right insurance. If you do have landlord's policies and a tenant moves out and they're out for more than 30 days before you put somebody in there, you probably ought to be calling your insurance company and let them know the house is vacant. That's happened to me one time. I had a tenant, in between tenants, somebody stole the HVAC unit off my building, cut the copper, and just took the whole thing away, right? Luckily, it had been under 30 days since the last tenant, but only by like a day or two. And my insurance agent said, 2 more days and your policy would not have covered you because you didn't let us know the house was vacant. They would have had to switch the policy to a vacant home policy until I got another tenant in there and then switched it back to a landlord's policy. So be very careful about the insurance. Make sure if you hold things in an entity or a trust that all the parties are named as insureds. Not only your trust, but you as an additional insured. The name of the insured is not on public record. So that's not going to break your anonymity, by the way, if you're an additional insured. But make sure that you're always an additional insured on your policies.